If I held my hands out and I had them in a fist, but I put a coin in one of those hands, and then I came up to you and I was like, yo, like, choose which one you think the coin is in, what are you gonna do? You're gonna choose. But at the end of the day, you have no way of knowing whether or not the one you're gonna choose is the right one. But you're still gonna make the choice because I asked you to. I have more power in that situation in a way because I know I have that surety and I know which hand has the coin. And no matter what happens, I know that you'll either choose the one without the coin or you'll choose the one with the coin. This is kind of like an iffy example and an iffy intro into the topic of today, which is predestination. Yay! There are so many questions in life that can only take us so far, and I feel like predestination is one of those questions. It's really hard to sit down with yourself and really think, is everything really ordained by God? Do I have any say in what happens? Like, do I actually have any choice? If whatever is supposed to happen is gonna happen and that's not in my control, why am I even trying then? Like, if Allah already knows where I'm gonna go, what's the point? Why am I even trying to do good things? Why am I even trying to do bad things? Why can't I just live my life the way I want to live my life? But at the end of the day, what you do with your life is what choices you make. You are the result of the choices you make. And that shows up every single day in your life. If you decide to wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning, get up, do your work, go to uni, do some more work, go and do some other stuff, be productive, and then come back. That's your choice. Or you could snooze that alarm and then wake up at 12 and miss half the day already and just be in a slump for the rest of the day. By the end of the day, with those two scenarios, you're going to feel two completely different ways. Possibly, most likely. You're going to sit there and you're going to feel very validated in the first scenario because you knew you did a lot of work and you're productive. So you can go to sleep knowing, all right, I'm not guilty about anything, I did my work. Or you could, it could be nighttime by the end of the second scenario and you will feel very guilty because you know that you did not show up for yourself. This is ultimately how predestination works, right? We have a roadmap, we have a setup of how we are supposed to live our lives. But that's just an option. Realistically, that's just an option. Whatever, Allah and the Prophet ﷺ have told us to do, whatever they told us to do, that's an option for you. You don't have to live your life like that. You can live it however you want. You can give into your desires and you can live your best life, in quotes, the funny bunny quotes. But at the end of the day, like, that's an option, yes. But that's an option for people who do want to have a good ending in the next life, who do want to get to Jannah. If you don't want to get to Jannah, then yeah, it's an option. You don't have to live like that. You don't have to give in charity. You don't have to pray. You don't have to go for Hajj. You don't have to be good to your family and be a good person in general. You don't got to be like that. You can be whatever you want, unless you don't want to go to Jannah. That's the truth of it. You know? And that's where free will comes in. Free will in the sense that we have the ability to make choices. We are always presented with choices every single day of our lives, and we can either choose this or choose that. But the point is that Allah is still in control of everything.
Our ruh, our soul, our nafs, our insides, ego, we'll call it, talking to us to do good or to do bad. But don't you know the difference? I mean, really, you know it's wrong to lie? Yeah. You know it's wrong to kill? Oh, yeah. And you know the difference? Yeah. So when you choose to do this or that, whose choice was it? Yours, yeah? But Allah already knew the choices you would make ahead of time. And then He allows you to go through this scenario called this life. But He tells you in the Quran that this life is nothing but frivolity. It is nothing. This is not the real life. He did not create it in jest. Oh no. Allah was very serious in the way He created it. But for you and I, this temporary life that we live in here, this few years that we spend stomping around on His earth, is actually the proving ground for us. This is the place that we go through the scenario that winds up being the determining factor for us on the Day of Judgment.
It's like there's infinite versions of how our life can play out, and Allah knows which version we are going to live out in this time. So I could choose to stay at home right now and not go to uni, but Allah knows what option I'm going to choose. I don't know what I'm going to choose, but He already knows what I'm going to eventually end up choosing. That doesn't mean my choice is being taken away. He just knows me better. He knows me better because He created me and He created you. So He knows exactly how our lives are going to play out. That doesn't mean that, He doesn't have control over it. Of course He does. He has control over all outcomes and everything. Predestination in Arabic is Qadr, and Qadr is such an important aspect as a human being, whether you're Muslim or not Muslim, just anyone with belief. We have to acknowledge that Allah knows the type of choices we will make. He knows the end result. We don't know the end result. We don't know that this choice will lead to exactly what will follow up after that and after that and after that. We don't know that. So that's basically the overarching point of what Qadr actually is. It's tawakkul in Allah, belief and trust in Allah while you make your own decisions. For example, right, we know Allah has told us in the Quran, the Prophet ﷺ, through him, through all the prophets, he's told us, we know what type of person will make it to Jannah. And we also know what type of person will make it to Jahannam. We know both characteristics of both types of people. Allah gives us the abilities and the capabilities and the necessities in this life to lead our own path and choose our own way. But at the end of the day, we can either choose to follow the characteristics of a person that will go to Jannah, or to follow the characteristics of a person that will go to Jahannam. And that's solely our choice. It's up to us. Allah is Al-Hakim, which means the all-wise, the most wise. And he's also our creator, of course. And with that, he knows us better than we know ourselves, better than we know the back of our hand, whatever that saying is. So wouldn't that come with any reassurance for us? That should give us enough reassurance to be like, okay, well, trust, done. Like, we know what we have to do, and we just need to make sure that we work efficiently and effectively to reach the goals in our life that we want to achieve, and to emulate the people of Jannah with the resources that Allah has given us. And then at the end of the day, it's up to him. Whatever happens, happens. This also goes hand in hand with, making dua. It's like, obviously, you make dua with conviction. You make your prayer with conviction, or at least try to. When you really, really want something, of course you go to Allah and ask him, because that is like the biggest sign of Qadr. You don't know that what you want is even out there for you. You don't know if you're going to get what you want. An example of this could be marriage, could be having kids, could be just, changing uni degrees or something. Like, this is the biggest example of that. We have no idea what's out there for us. We only know what we want. We only know what is in front of us. That's why we're pushed to actually raise our hands, cup our hands, and make dua in the hardest, in the easiest of times, because there's always something we want. You get something, your dua is accepted, then boom, like a day later, there's another thing you want, so you make dua again. That's just how life works. We're never going to be sufficient. Nothing's ever going to be sufficient for us in this life, at least. So the point of making dua is to truly and wholeheartedly submit and humble yourself and accept that Qadr is a thing. You don't know, but Allah knows. So you're asking him, please give this to me. But with that, there should be no question of, oh, well, why wasn't my dua accepted? We have no idea. Qadr girl, I told you, it's all at Allah's timing. He's all knowing. He knows that you're gonna make dua for this very thing because you want it that bad, and that's what he wants, because you have that trust and you acknowledge that Allah is there and he can give you what you want, even when no one else can. So it's a beautiful thing to make dua, but at the same time, you need to have that trust in the fact that this is the Almighty, the all-knowing I'm talking to. He's gonna give this to me when it's best for me.